Se Sangha Samudra Sange Naro Tamoda Se Sangana Parakande Se Sangha translation?
Yeah. He who brought the picture of divine love and was filled with compassion and mercy, where had such a personality is the best.
How much time?
Sarupa Damodar and Rupa Goswami, where is Sanatana, where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the Father.
Okay.
Where am I Raghunath Bhatt and Gopal Bhatt, and where is Krishna?
Hour less.
Where Lord Gauranga, the Greek dancer, suddenly go. I will smack my head against the rock and take it fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, that is what of all wonderful qualities?
Oh, you have a verse you want to chant?
The association of Lord Gauranga.
No, we don't know.
If you have a verse, we can do
that. I'll just talk. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
So we have this wonderful life by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So, anyways, you all are doing so wonderful here. So I know this is, Prabhupada see this, he would be so happy. To see the Krishna conscious movement is continuing. He was saying that before he left, that at least don't let what I started finish, die. He felt that would be the greatest tragedy, you make such endeavor, such sacrifice to accomplish something. And then when you're gone, it disappears. That's not an accomplishment, is it? So, anyways, you all are doing, Sorry, I just can't. Sometimes it's hard to speak on these days. So some days you can talk, some days you just, try to catch the mood. So then we have Chardeshna Prabhu is.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets to pass today.
Yeah.
That'd be glorious. So I was praying like that at least. I saw him a couple of days ago. He was really struggling so hard. Can't imagine. Parkinson's is a very difficult thing to leave your body with. Usually they die by their lungs filling up with fluids because the brain gets out of sync, brain cells are dying. So there's a whole coordination, breathing air and not letting liquid get into your lungs. That's all messed up with him. So he's thirsty, but he can't drink because it'll go in the wrong place. So they try to give him this thickened water. But, what is that? So he's constantly just, constantly. And we take for granted how this body works. But it's very, when you think about it, what is it, arsenic, little pin drop, finish. How can a little pin drop kill you? You think a pin drop of any, how could, but it's such a complicated machine, it just throws everything out of sync. Nervous systems, this, that, so many things. So anyways, we all have that moment. We all have our death moment. Don't think, Prabhupada said to us, don't think this is not going to happen to you. But if you're Krishna conscious, then it's not that they don't feel pain, but they're not disturbed by it. Just like you can see, even materially speaking, I often think about World War II, horrific battles, they're attacking Normandy Beach. They're waiting with machine guns, everything, right? The first people coming, they're not going to survive. But yet they go. Why? Why do they do such a thing? You know you're going to be finished, and your wife is back home, your children, and yet they do it. Because they love their country, you see. Such a material thing. And it's glorious, isn't it? They still have memorials for these people. They open that door, and then they see people, and they just keep coming. So that's a particular kind of pleasure, actually, when you sacrifice like that. So what to speak if you were for Supreme Person of Godhead's mission? What can be more glorious? Some stupid karmi mission. This is the Supreme Person of Godhead, his desire that in every town and village that his name be chanted. Right? So who's going to do it? It's such an, you think Maya's just going to let you do these things? Oh, Krishna wants, okay, come. Yeah. Here's $1 million. Here's everything easy for you. You never get sick. Everybody takes one because you want them to. I don't want you to suffer, right? Prabhupada used to say like that. When Krishna's driving a chariot, he didn't tell Arjuna, you just sit back and I'll do everything because you're my devotee. You need something to drink? Are you okay back there? No. There's an opportunity to show your love. That's what this does. It gives you that opportunity. Right? Because you want to love Krishna. So you need some opportunity. So we can see Prabhupada's life, how much he loved Krishna. The disappearance day is actually more important than the appearance day. Because when the Charya appears, nobody knows. Right? But once he leaves, it's very clear. Oh, okay. Yes, Acharya. Yes. Let us honor him. Let us remember him. Let us take to heart his instructions. Because these instructions, they carry on. That is actually the devotional service is in those instructions. And as you embrace them, you see, then the spiritual life awakens. So, Om Jnana Timiranjasa, Jnananjana Shlakasti. Our eyes are open, not from the outside eyes, the inside eye, the emotional eyes. So, of course, in the beginning, Krishna says, 4 kinds of people surrender unto me. So those are the beginning stages. And as you go on, those things get satisfied. Okay, do you go away? Or do you continue on? Going for higher realms. It's all voluntary. Krishna doesn't. In Hawaii, there's a conversation where the devotees are challenging Prabhupada on, it's a controversial statement, but I'll mention this one anyway. Why would Krishna let the living entity leave the spiritual world if it's so perfect? And he said, Krishna doesn't rape you. He wants your love. If you stay here, I'll beat you. You get back in the spiritual. It's not like that. Nothing can interfere with your loving Krishna. That's up to you. It can't make you do it. That's the one independence we have. You love Krishna or you don't. And that choice has to be there. Otherwise, how is it pure? Right? If I love you because, you're so handsome or you're so rich, when those things go away, do you still love me? Mm-hmm. So I love you because the spiritual world is so wonderful and so perfect. You have to have the choice of not being able to love. Now that makes it very pure. Makes it very pure. So Srila Prabhupada has brought this devotional service. It was, as Lord Chaitanya says, the storehouse of love of Godhead was locked. Right? So Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, they broke the lock. Come on, take it. Come take it. Come. People look at it. What is that? I mean, it don't look like anything. I don't want it. Thank you. So Lord Nityananda, he said, okay, fine, I'll go chase after them. I'm falling at their feet. Please take this. Just say Hare Krishna. Please. Okay, thank you. You see, whatever. Just say Hare Krishna. So when Prabhupada visited Atlanta, he was in that mood of, he saw the Gornitai deities were there, not the other deities. And the temple room was packed full of all the brahmacharis and brahmacharinis, and people couldn't even get in. There were so many devotees. They had to look through the windows. And this is February, so it's very cold. It's cold. Thank Krishna for climate change. It's not so cold now. Actually makes you wonder, is this normal or not normal? I don't think cold is not supposed to be normal. So maybe it's going back to normal, but I think it's getting worse. Reading descriptions of people walking around with coats on in Vedic times because they're freezing to death. So, anyways, packed. So anyway, Prabhupada, after touring all the different temples, and he comes through Miami, from South America, and he comes into Atlanta. And Atlanta, of course, at that time, with the airport, big military base somewhere over here too, huge. So they could sell so many books to those people, because they all fly through Atlanta. So Atlanta used to be, almost number one. Chicago had a bigger airport, so we could compete with them. LA was always third. They couldn't, no soldiers, some Marines. Marines are usually a little more, but not big like this. It was big bases. The Navy base was in Chicago, not Chicago, but just north of Chicago. I don't know if it's still there. So training for it. So we get all the Navy people, they get the Army. I think LA get the Marines mostly. Or Camp Lejeune too would come through here. So, and he comes in and he sees that scene, packed, enthusiastic devotees. You can imagine what Prabhupada must be thinking compared to when he first came to America. You read his Jaladuta prayers, right? You think, why did you send me to this place? Look at these people. They're all in a mode of ignorance and passion, and they think themselves happy. They think they're happy. And he's looking, he's sannyas, dress, rubber shoes. How am I going to get them to listen? I'm an old man with nothing. They're not going to listen to me. How, what do you think about that? Why would they listen to me if they only respect wealth, beauty, fame, right? You don't have those things, they dismiss you. I got to get them. I'm even wasting my time for it. Yeah. I see why you need to chant Hare Krishna, because, you don't have anything. So, and you don't have any opportunity to have anything either. There's no hope for you. So you better worship God. That's for you people. But me, what can I say? And he sees these people. But he said, obviously you have some business for me here. Otherwise, why would you have brought me to this horrible place? So now it says, you make me dance. You see? He says, I am the most insignificant beggar. So not that Prabhupada felt like, yeah, I can do this, but even in the end, what was he saying? That ultimately he was trying to simply satisfy his Guru Maharaj. His entire life was set that way. And I always think often of a rival dress. It's recorded in L.A. in 1975. I think it's before the marathon began. And he was in that mood again also. Because Prabhupada also, when you think back of his history, he really didn't think he was going to live that long. If you listen to the early lectures, I took all of Prabhupada's MP3s. This was way back 1998. And when they first came out, there's about 1,900 of them. And I renamed them so they lined up sequentially from the first to the end. And listen to them that way. It becomes a story. It used to be a take one, let me hear Bhagavad Gita, and you listen to it. Then you see spoken that verse maybe 4 different times, and it's all different. So you should think, why did he speak like that? Well, there's a logic to it, because he was growing the movement. So what I found was you have morning walk, you have the class, sometimes even conversation, and it rolls like that, right? And for a week or two, he would speak about one subject. Until someone would say something to him, and then he'd start talking about that. And it's progressed like that. So it was like a conversation beginning in 1966 that ended in 1977. It's actually a story. So if you line it up like that, it won't just be listening to a class. You'll see okay. Because, I can remember, I didn't join in 66, but I joined in 74, and I remember certain things, and I always wonder, why did that happen? And when you listen to all those things, now I know why. I know why. Why did he speak like this at that time? You know exactly why, because something was going on at the movement at that time, and he had to address it. So you'll get a historic perspective if you line them up like that and listen to them. And then you want to listen to them, okay, what's next? It's like, soap opera or something, I guess. What's the next episode? Don't just jump all over the place with the lectures. I have my favorites, of course. I like his Iran, and also the first 2 or 3 that they recorded. And he's talking, and the people are like, Prabhupada's like, what are you doing? Put that down. I'm reading. You just listen to me. They're not even listening to Prabhupada. They got books, and he's talking. And they interrupt him, start challenging right in the middle. What do you mean? Why this, that? And then you see near the end, it's, even at one point, he won't even talk to reporters anymore. He says, it's a waste of time, he told them. It was in New York, I think, at the Rath Yatra, where Rameshwar, not knowing, of course, because he arranged a bunch of reporters. And he said, Prabhupada, I have this one line up, that one up, line up. I said, it's a waste of time. All they do is ask you, what is that paint on your face? Why do you shave your head? Where does your money come from? And he said, I don't want to talk to them anymore. But he had already lined them up, so he brings in a reporter, and immediately, why do you shave your head? Prabhupada didn't say anything. He just don't even respond to him. Rameshwar, he's trying to answer the questions for him, and he asks, I don't think he said anything, and he takes the guy out. He probably didn't say one word, even after he took him out. The next reporter began to ask actually philosophical questions. Then Prabhupada started talking. In the beginning, he'd take all the interviews. In the end, he was like, I don't want to waste my time with this. Same with politicians near the end in India. Hey, Prabhupada, we arranged for such and such MPs. He said, you should come see me. This is the etiquette. He refused to go. In the beginning, he's running into all of them. So he's showing also how you grow the preaching, it's dynamic. You can't just say, okay, this is the way you be Christian conscious, and that's it. If you don't do that, then you're not Christian conscious. It's not an external thing. It's an internal. And you will block the flow of it, actually, as a matter of fact, trying to keep it a certain way. Nowhere Christian will let you keep it that way. It's always dynamic. And it always seems to become, the greatest moments always seem to come out of controversy. So, you all start in the center. I was like, yeah, that means Christian wants it to be done. And good controversy. So, so many people angry, upset. Steal their book distributor. I'm surprised he's still alive. Huh? So you have to see Krishna in it. It's like when Tamal Krishna was because he had the bus party, traveling, and he was Tamal Krishna Maharaj, right? So he pulled into a temple. Who would not want to travel with him, right? So he surveyed the temple, find who's the best book distributor? So, okay, I'm going to sneak those guys off. Oh my God. And the next morning, what happened to my brahmacharis? But he felt, I'm selling so many books, so why are they complaining? Finally, the GBC had a big meeting, and they chastised him very severely, right? They're just envious, that's all. They're just envious. And then he heard Prabhupada he was going to fix the problem. Oh. Somehow or another you heard what was happening, that Prabhupada was going to take away his party and send him to China. Because, first he went in that night before complaining, why are they this and that, and they're this and on and on and on. And he said, well, I might as well just go to China. That's something people used to say in America back in the day. If I really don't want to do something, then I'll just go to China. And then he heard later, Prabhupada said, oh. So he was trying to, get his group together to block it. And they sent down, some devotees, Trivikram, go find Tamal, bring him. And he was hiding. Mangalarti, couldn't find him. Finally, they bring him up. He's ready. He's got his people there, and he's going on. And Prabhupada, there's this Hardy Sari, I have that recording explaining that event. This Prabhupada's lip was trembling. Oh, no. He'd be so upset. He said, then when he finished talking, he says, are you finished? Yes, Prabhupada. He said, all night I've been racking my brain on this because you said you wanted to go to China. Now you say you don't? So you have two choices. You either sit here in Mayapur or you go to China. That's it. Your party is gone. So he didn't want to be in India. It was very hard doing service in India because Prabhupada gave him the difficult task of getting those temples built. And the government was like, no money for temples. So no cement for temples, none of this for temples, and they're blocking everything. But he was expert at breaking those things. So Prabhupada really wanted him to stay anyway, but Prabhupada let him go. So he decided, I'll go to China. I'm not staying in India. Well, India was rough in those days. I went in 1977. This is what year was that? 75, 76, I can't imagine. I didn't go back again till 2005. It was so austere. I don't know how those devotees did that service. There's nothing. They had no money, no nothing. Nobody. You go to sell books, I couldn't sell one book. They just tease you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And I'm going to punch somebody, I swear. You talk to your Guru Maharaj, he has all that experience back then. They defeated, what they did, and it was all the Mayavadis argue with you every 2 seconds. Why Krishna's God? Well, they could quote scripture, this and that. Nobody agreed. Hard. Dacoits attacking. There's nothing to eat. Starved to death in Mayapur. So you in Mayapur festival? Okay, where's prasadam? What? Buffalo yogurt. The first time I saw rice like that, I guess that's chip rice, huh? Big flat rice. I've never seen rice like that before. Yeah, maybe some eggplant, a little dal. I'm like, what the heck is that? I mean, where's the freaking prasadam? I mean, in Chicago, because we were book distributor, so Udma Shloka, he says, they're going out all day long? They need a feast. They were having like huge feasts every day, and they bring it out to the airport too. You just keep selling, boom, boom, they come get you ready, come on downstairs. And you just line up, bam! Oh, man. Pop, pop, pop. It was so good. There's a story, these businessmen are exiting the airport, down this, they try to find a remote plot, right? And this guy walks by, and he stops, he goes, man, that looks pretty good. He goes, how much are those tacos? Because they were chapatis, he thought they were tacos. How much are those tacos? So the one goes, $10. Give me 2 plates. Wow. He put halava. He put some of that meat on there. He thought the halava was meat, So he loaded it up and he goes, yeah. Okay. So, how much are those tacos? So if you get to India, I was like, all steer. Anyways, in the end, Prabhupada didn't send them because when they were getting ready to go, it was very difficult at that time to go. So he said, that's okay, leave it for the next generation, they'll do it. It's not Prabhupada always thinking. He's not thinking I'm the doer. He said the next generation will do it. Of course, Tamal did go again. Another controversy, because after Prabhupada left, which is, you read in the scriptures about serving Guru, surrendering to Guru, right? There's not any details. How do you do that? So we're accustomed to worshiping Prabhupada, so we thought, okay, let's just do everybody like that. We don't know what to do. There's nobody to tell you. It's really, and we were so neophyte, actually. Even though they were making great sacrifices, we were very neophyte, It's meaning a lot of sentiment, mostly. And so it was a trying time. So he had his method of what he wanted to do, and he got in trouble with the GBC again. So they took everything away from him, again. And said, you go to China. I was in Chicago at that time. And I remember he came back and I go, how can you let them do this to you? Tamal was big, big though. I mean, if he told you jump off the house, you jump off the house, because you had so much faith in him, and he looked at me and he said, they are my God brothers and I must cooperate. And he went, and then now you see what happened. Now all these Chinese devotees preaching still going on books in Chinese. So it came out of a controversy, in a sense. So we can't, don't be bewildered by happiness and distress, victory and defeat. These things are external. You have to learn to see Krishna in these things, and we do that by consulting Shastra, Guru, Sadhus, all three. And then you decide. In the end, you have to decide. And then you learn from it. Because you could be wrong, too. You have to accept the fact. I could be wrong, but humble enough to correct myself, too. Devotee asked Prabhupada once, how do we know what the temple president is telling me to do is Krishna's desire? Right? How do we know that? And Prabhupada replied, you don't know. You have to judge by the result. But you're not at fault, because you're sincerely trying. If you're sincere, even if you make a mistake, it's not going to go against you, because you're trying, right? It's just like a child who loves the mother, and all the child does really is give you a headache. Right? This, that, feeding, cleaning, drawing, there's nothing but service. Non-stop, 24/7, blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes, you buy things to keep them busy, and they take a piece of paper and they start drawing a picture, right? And they go, Mommy, this is for you. I drew a picture of you. How touching is that, isn't it? You're holding it upside down. It's so bad you can't even tell what it's But it's touching. Because of the love. It's not that the picture was perfect. It's imperfect. But the love it was given with. And they take it to work. Oh, look what my daughter drew me. And everybody's like, oh, they can feel that love. So you don't have to be perfect. But we simply keep trying to satisfy Guru and Gauranga. So Prabhupada always stressed with us this Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shitite Koriya Aikya Arana Koriya Naya Ash. So one day in the class like that, he said, what does it mean? Who can tell me? Everybody's quiet. Oh, you're just singing? And nobody knows? So Pradyumna said, the words emanating from the mouth of the spiritual master of my life and soul. You see? That's it. So he said, going back to when he arrived in Chicago, in L.A., that he says, this Krishna conscious movement, that we have nothing new to, again, I'm paraphrasing, to add in a sense. Everything is already given. We simply have to follow the instruction of the spiritual master. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shitite Koriya Aikya Arana Koriya Naya Ash. He says, my Guru Maharaj, he told me in the first meeting, if you ever get any money, you print these books in English and distribute them all over the world. So I'm trying to do this. So you kindly help me. So that was his plea like that. So you kindly help me satisfy my Guru Maharaj. Print as many books as you can in as many languages and distribute them all over the world, and the Krishna conscious movement will automatically spread. So that next level of what that's going to be that maybe is not our business at this point. There's like 7 billion people on this planet. And how many books have we distributed? Maybe 500 million in all these years. So we got to, let's lay the foundation and let the next generation worry about it. People sometimes, this is the golden age. Okay, what does that look like? Is mango trees everywhere? I don't know. Well, you don't know. It doesn't mean that. You don't know what it means. But that definitely means people are chanting Hare Krishna. How are they chanting Hare Krishna? And that doesn't mean they're all going to be chanting so purely. It'll be like in China, they're so restricted. No temples, no this, no that. They don't like large gatherings. But people become devotees. I don't see how they become devotees. There's no big kirtan and anything. And you go there and you see them, and they're like, oh yeah, I like Krishna consciousness. Even their concept, what is Krishna consciousness, is a little weird. Well, they don't have any senior devotees. They never get any. They never see anybody that's grew up in a temple, anything like that. They're middle age, and somehow or another they heard about Krishna consciousness, got awakened. And now they can't even go to India. No visas for them, blocked. I don't know why Krishna did that. He can't get a tourist visa. Before, they're all moving to Mayapur. I think Krishna wanted them to preach, so he said, okay, that's it. Everybody back. Take away your visas. Somebody was there talking to him. Why is he doing this to me? I guess who's going to preach to those people? I don't speak the language. They ain't going to even let me in, most likely. You have to do it. This is what our life is for. You have one life. Right? It's not very many years. So you can, like we used to say, you can work now, you can samadhi later. Right? It's got a good purpose down here. We are fulfilling God's mission. How much greater purpose in life can you have? I met a lady the other day at the temple, middle-aged, not middle-aged, she's probably in her 30s. Typical Indian family, go to college, do this, get your degree, blah, blah. So I did all those things. I don't know what else to do, she told me. I have no purpose anymore. I've done everything I was asked to do. That was my motivation for living. I say, well, because you're supposed to become Krishna conscious and go back to Godhead, unless you want to take birth again. That's up to you. Okay, well, how do I do that? Well, make Krishna happy. Well, how do I make Krishna happy? Find out what he wants. How do I find out what he wants? Ask his devotees. And then pray to catch that mood all the time. So we are really fortunate to be a part of this movement, especially now as all still pioneering, isn't it? So it's nice. I get some nice purpose. Like you go to India, everything's already done, practically speaking, isn't it? Anywhere you walk, people know about, they see you, they touch your feet. And especially if you're foreigner, you can sell books easy now. Now I go there, I'll just say, Dosh Daka Ding. And they just hand me the money, Or I take Gita. One time they were doing for 100 rupees, which is a little low. I just put it in their hand. I go, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. They look at me, and trying to hand it back. I go, oh, it's Prabhupada. I flip it over. And I show them the 100 rupees. They give me 100 rupees. Wow. Indian devotees can't do that. They got to talk a little more. Because you're a foreigner, they kind of respect you. Wow, he's Vaishnava. It's amazing. You keep saying Prabhupada, Prabhupada. They get the message. Oh, okay, Prabhupada. Let me see. Because they've seen Gita. But this is the Gita that made this person. I got to buy it just to see. So, have you tried selling books in India yet?
No.
I wonder how you would do. Huh? They probably run him out and get the freak. You can't use some lines in India. You see him in a fight, they'd be punching up. Who are you talking to? Foreigners can easy. I was on the Parikram, I remember, at Chaitanya Mat, where Bhaktisiddhanta's Samadhi is, and I thought, man, I've sold books everywhere. Let me sell one here. So I've seen some of the local Bengali. I said, give me some of those 10 rupee books. I can do those pretty easy. Really poor guy, first guy, so I just put in his hand, same thing, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. And I showed him 10 rupees, and he told me, wait. So he went, and he came back, he had 20 rupees.
Wow.
So I gave him 2 books. I said, thank you. And he goes, no. Jai Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada. I just kept, I'm giving no change. I act like, oh, you wanted to. Thank you. I gave him 2. He finally just went away. I mean, 10 rupees is a lot to him. He wasn't like, there's people they just live off the land. So, they work they get 1,000 rupees. They're like, wow. They don't really need it because they live such a simple life. So, 10 rupees was probably a lot for him, and I took his 20 rupees. I shouldn't have. Now I feel guilty about it. I was in, old American Sankirtan mood. Liberate Lakshmi. So, anyways, we have to continue this. So as we know about his life, everyone's aware of Prabhupada's Leela. And how he took that up from a young age, and he thought, let me make some money, and I'll use that, because, how you can do anything without money? And he actually he said, I almost became one of the richest men in India. And then Krishna took it away. Because imagine if he came over as a millionaire. What would we do? I'll become a millionaire too, and then I'll be Krishna conscious. You have some excuse. Wouldn't we? So he took everything away from him. It made it more glorious. I've been trying to find this article. There was an article in Time magazine maybe 20, 30 years ago, and it was titled, life does not end at 70. 10 of the most famous people who had success beginning at the age of 70, and they mentioned Prabhupada.
Amazing.
Because materially speaking, what he did was phenomenal. And they described, he came penniless, and then within his 11 years, he translated all these books, he opened up all these many temples, he traveled the world this many times. Even materially speaking, that is extraordinary. You know, I'm 68 now, and I can't even dance anymore. Legs hurt, tired. Prabhu asked me, hey, come speak. I'm like, oh, that's too far. That's too far. Then I got to come back, too. I'm like, you know, lazy. I just want to enjoy Krishna. I want to share Krishna. I want to keep him for myself. Ah, yeah, it's very nice. As long as I'm happy, who cares, right? Right? No, that's not Vaishnava. So Prabhupada, all those emotions are there. Satisfy his Guru Maharaj. Satisfy Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he actually had compassion on us. We're suffering over here. And this is going to relieve their suffering. But they're so ignorant you can't even, they think you're trying to cheat them or something. And you have to take all that abuse sometimes. Still he would push on. Imagine Prabhupada's in 2nd Avenue. He's cooking the feast. He's washing the pots. And they're like, oh, yeah, nice Christian guys. I'm like, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Swamiji. He's standing in line to use the bathroom. This is what the devotees were like. They didn't know. They're like, hey, I'm here first. Get in the back, It's America. Everything's equal in America, right? There's no division. We're all the same. So I'm first. You wait your turn, Swamiji. Nice feast, though. Thank you. And he grew them because he had such great faith in the chanting of the holy name. Such great faith. So he knew. Gradually, they did come to the point. They felt, as described by Umapati Swamiji, one of the first disciples. He's still in China. He's there now, very old. And he was saying, at one point they realized we need to do something too, We're just taking. And Prabhupada never, very expert. So gradually, and then in the end, he's there crying, he's chastising them. In the end. So, how much more time, or is it, I don't, okay. Anyways, I remember, just to speak a little about that day he passed, that was, you have to understand what it was like in those days too. We're not like nowadays, you just hit the button and you got instant information, right? No. Fastest communications, if you had a landline telephone, but that was expensive. You're in Atlanta and I want to call Macon, Georgia, you paid extra. It wasn't free. What to speak of New York or another country. Matter of fact, like if we wanted to find out when there was Ekadasi, so we had these little trick we would do. They had this thing called collect call, where the person who receives the call, they would pay. Oh. So we would call Los Angeles and we say, we want to speak to Mr. Ekadasi. And so the devotees will reply, well, Mr. Ekadasi won't be here till October 30th. We go, okay, thank you. Now it was free, we didn't pay anything. Now we know Ekadasi's on October 30th. We want to speak to Mr. John Masmi. Oh, Mr. John Masmi will be here on August 12th. Thank you. Pictures. Anybody seen a camera? You know what a camera is? No. With the film?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you mess it up, that's it. You don't know if it's good or bad. You have maybe 12, 24, 36 in a roll. And you pray you didn't have the cover on or you didn't mess something up because you're snapping away, right? You don't know till you take it to get it developed. Wait a week. You got your pictures. Okay, how do you share them? Okay, you make a copy of this one, this one, this one. Give me 10 of this one. Okay, wait another week, couple weeks, and then put them in the mail. So that's how you got your pictures. If you want to see anything or information. So I was in Mayapur in 1977, and I got into Prabhupada's room at that time. And I remember seeing, I could see he wasn't well. You could see it. But still, he was, sitting behind his desk. It's a whole story how I had to sneak in because I was too new devotee. And when he visited Chicago, you could fan him. So, so everybody would line up, the fan during the class, Guru Puja. So it was about an hour, So devotees were like, come on, my turn. You've been waiting. No. Hey, I'm not getting, I'm sorry for you, but I'm going to get as much as I can, So you just give them a couple kidneys until they let it go,
Oh, man.
Okay, your turn. So unless you were sannyasi, GBC, maybe temple president of the temple, you might get some maha. Anyone getting past that door, how much is morning walk, forget it. Darshan, no darshan. So, but anyway, you were aspiring. Okay, I'm going to get up there one day. I'll get some of those things too. So when I went to Mayapur, I thought, I want to experience this. I got to figure out how to do it. But I want to be in the room with Prabhupada. I want some Prabhupada Maha. I want all, So when the buses arrived in Mayapur from the airport, it's just really one building in there, another building under construction, very unorganized. So they just said, find a room. I said, this is my opportunity. Let me go see Prabhupada. I don't care about that room. So I went up, found where Prabhupada's room was, and the sannyasi standing there. I said, I want to see Srila Prabhupada. He says, come back later for darshan. Yeah, right. They're going to let me have darshan? So I was a little frustrated. I said, I could see the way the building's designed. There must be a back door.
Okay.
So I kind of nonchalantly went around, come to the back door, and it's wide open. Okay. And Prabhupada's sitting almost like right there, behind his desk, speaking to some Bengalis, and they were in karmi clothes. And I was like, I was paying my obeisances, and I was sitting in the door. I was like, wow, thank you, Krishna, you're so kind. Right? And then Bhakti Tirtha Swami was there. He was in the Swami at the time. I knew him. He saw me. He says, come on in.
Wow.
Okay, I went to the corner, and I sit in the corner. And I'm watching Prabhupada. He's speaking in Bengali to these people, but his leg is up like this, and you can see he's not feeling well. Finally, they get up to leave. The sannyasi opens the door, and he sees me sitting there. And I'm looking at him. I turn my head. And I said, Krishna, please don't kick me out. Okay, I just want to be in a room with Prabhupada. I'm not going to make any disturbance. Just let me stay, please, let me stay. And I was like, boom, door closed. Oh. Just me and Prabhupada in the room. And I didn't say anything. Prabhupada didn't say anything. I was content. I don't disturb Prabhupada. And different devotees would come in and out talking. I was in there for a long time. Anyway, that's a long story about that. So then, of course, I mentioned the prasadam. So saying they go to the kitchen I was like, what the heck is this? It's like, I don't see any sannyasis in there. I know why, because they're eating Prabhupada's maha. And we're eating this. This is not fair. I was like, I had enough of this. I'm sorry. I know where Prabhupada's room is. I'm going to go to Prabhupada's room, and I'm going to get some maha. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try at least. So the next day, I go back to that door. Of course, it's closed now. And I just wait. And if you don't eat that, there's nothing for the rest of the day. Now you can go buy something somewhere. No, there's nothing. I didn't care. I wasn't eating much anyway. I couldn't eat it. It was just, So finally, I see them come with the 3 trays. They go in the room. I go, okay, I'm in the right spot. I wait. They come back later, and the lady Mataji's take the trays, down to the kitchen. I'm just falling, They don't see me, And they lay it outside the kitchen door, 3 huge trays. And I'm thinking, I'm going to eat every drop of that maha. I'm going to make them Sannyas go down there and eat what we eating.
That's right.
I'm going to teach them a lesson, man. I take the first subject, flaming hot Bengali cooking. I couldn't. I was like, oh my God. Take some sweet rice. Okay, let me try this Corella. I never had Corella before. Take some more sweet rice. I couldn't eat it. It was, never had anything like that before. We had American style cooking, I did the best I could. Okay, they can have that hot stuff. I'll eat the other things. Next day, I brought my godbrother, and he always telling us, hey, you want to get some Prabhupada Maha? He goes, what do you know about Prabhupada Maha? I said, I'm telling you, did you see me here yesterday? He goes, I don't believe you. I said, come with me. You better not be lying to me, I swear. Brought him, man,
Oh, yeah.
don't tell anybody, okay? This is for us. He was putting it down. You want mercy? You got a big barrel, steal it right on me, sitting around waiting. Can I have that? That's a nice story. Brahmananda and Tamal Krishna are like that too. The Prabhupada bit, I don't know what it was, around school or something, and he put it on Tamal's plate. It smells like this. He probably bit something and put it on Tamal's plate for him to eat. And Brahmananda, while Tamal's kind of a little proud of, Brahmananda Swami just grabbed and ate it right. Prabhupada just smiles. Anyways, what was leading up to is, so during that period of him leaving, so many conflicting informations coming back and forth. Prabhupada's going to leave his body, not going to leave his body. Devotees should come, they shouldn't come. And the last bit of news was from an astrologer who would predict, no, he's going to live this long. And then we also thought, if we can just increase our service, then Krishna will not take him. Krishna's just testing us because he had been sick before. And they did a big book marathon and like this, and he got better. So we were really convinced like that. I remember I was. And so it was a shock when the news came. It was such a shock. So you can only imagine, so traumatic. I think if we had been there, then we would have known. So even to this day, devotees still are a little bit upset and angry. Why didn't you tell us? But it's even it was very clear Prabhupada was going to leave. He wanted even to be taken to Govardhan Hill. And Lokanath Maharaj was the only one who agreed, okay, Prabhupada, I'll make the arrangement. I think they were going to kill him for it. Don't you dare even set anything up. And Prabhupada didn't care. They're all, no, I'm going. Is everything ready? Is it like this? Kirtananda Maharaj that flew there. And there's a recording that he fell on Prabhupada, just like crying like he's dying. Why are you doing this to us, Prabhupada? Why? We don't want you to leave, please. Then Prabhupada said, okay, I won't go. He said, you've done so much for me already. He's the only one who could convince Prabhupada. And so then he asked him to bring some strawberries or something to eat. And then a couple of days later, he left his body. So, but I think he wanted to leave his body on Govardhan Hill at that point. So, but anyway, it's, these. So the physical presence is very, very nice, right? But more importantly is these instructions. That's what we have to remember. So on this day we can see Prabhupada's great devotional service. I always think of one verse for him. It says, Mam cha yo vyabhicharina. It's vyabhicharina. Sometimes Prabhupada translated it as determination, even though it says not falling. But not to fall means you have to be determined too. So Krishna says, unto me, Mam cha yo vyabhicharina. With me, with great determination, what do? Bhakti yogena sevate. You render the seva of bhakti yoga. And what happens when you do that? Saguna, samatit yaitan. You rise above the gunas, because the gunas are causing us all this suffering. And when you rise above the gunas, Brahma bhuyaya kapate. Now you can experience Brahman. So we're not so much interested in just being happy, but this vyabhicharina is when you're Krishna praying, and you can do anything to relieve the suffering of your beloved, right? The object of your worship. So there's so many good motivations for sacrificing one life for spreading Krishna consciousness. Even Lord Krishna says in the Gita, whoever explains this science to the devotees, he's very dear to me. Right? And he says, no one more dear to me, and surely he will come to me. So he inaugurated this Christian conscious movement at that time, Lord Krishna. And Mahaprabhu brought that holy name with the chanting, the Sankirtan, and these acharyas up to Prabhupada, of course, have established how to do it. So now it is your task. As we can see, most of these first generation devotees are all leaving their bodies. Or some are so old now, they're like, I'm tired, I can't do anymore. I can't. Not like Prabhupada, he's still translating, right? You seen the video?
Yeah.
He's on it still, that determination, huh? You never see him go into Leela, Krishna, where are you? Oh, not so unworthy, Krishna, Krishna. Never. He just kept that madhyam mood of spreading Krishna consciousness. Internally, of course, he probably had all kind of pastimes, but he never manifested that externally. Few occasions to some devotees. So, anyways, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. That's it, huh? Should we? Any questions or no?
Yeah, Prabhu, yeah, please.
Anybody, anything they want to ask? Or you don't have to, just... Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just getting the mic there for the audience.
It's a philosophical set, directly related to the disappearance. There's something you said when you were talking about the storehouse of love of God, and people they're reluctant to take what's there for free, and you said Lord Nityananda gives it to them. So I just had like a little bit of, I don't know, I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly, but like we do Harinam, and we play instruments, mridangas, and we distribute prasadam. The paraphernalia of Krishna is a manifestation of Lord Nityananda, Lord Balaram. So I was just wondering if that's a correct way to think about it.
I mean, actually, the holy name is delivering all of it. And we are the vehicles for delivering it. So that is the medicine. Like Jeev Jago, Gaur Janabo, and that Bhajan talks about that, Wake up, sleeping souls, wake up, sleeping soul. How long are you going to sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? I have come to deliver you, see. Now you take this medicine, this Maha Mantra. So the form of that holy name is the power. All this is to induce them to chant. All these books, all these things, to induce them to chant. And it's all mixed in there. Just by seeing you. They don't even have to do anything. The seed is planted in their heart just by seeing you. Who cares? They're like, oh, you crazy man, go get a job or whatever. Do they still say that nowadays?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was like 95% of people back there. Go get a job. Get a job. This is my job. Why you interfere with my job? You know,
This is my job.
so we just sincerely try. That's all. And keep it simple. Don't make it so complicated. Christian consciousness is actually, Prabhupada says, is the most common sense. It's a very simple thing. It's not so complicated. We don't have to have some extraordinary experiences. You know. So I think Krishna doesn't give us those because it'll get in the way. We'll stop preaching, you know. I'm too busy enjoying the bliss. Oh, Krishna, Krishna. So no rasa tattva for any of you until the preaching is done. You know, it'll get in the way. Man, if you have Krishna praying, you can't stay. How can you stay if you actually have Krishna praying? It's impossible. So you don't get any until it's time for you to go. But you get some good taste, so that's nice.
In regards to the six Goswamis, you know, we can see that they have.
Say it again.
In regards to the six Goswamis, you know, we can see that they have Krishna prema.
Yeah,
But,
there was
you know,
like Prabhupada too. He
yeah,
has
Prabhupada,
it. They're
you know,
extraordinary.
Yeah, you know, Bhaktisiddhanta.
That's their being. I mean, that is the greatest praying, to put that aside for saving us. You know, that's the greatest. That shows how extraordinary they are. Like Prabhupada, he could have just stayed in Vrindavan. What was his fault? He's an old man, right? Actually, I think Krishna sent like that because it was perfect. Imagine if he came as a 22-year-old. And nobody, you know, that young fellow, you know, nobody gonna listen to you. And he's very handsome, so all the women be trying to, you know. But as an older man, everybody is gonna respect that. So it's a perfect body for coming to the West. But that was 10, 11 years. You didn't get much time as old man, right? So, but he didn't need much time. He could, you know, probably waste a minute. Even he would come in the temple room. It's the most amazing thing. He didn't sit around, oh, hi, how are you? Oh, good to see you. Oh, no. He was so fixed. It's like a general walking in, you know, we're about to attack the beach, you know. And he's like, hey, how are you guys doing today? Everything okay? No. Wartime, boom. Sit down, do this, that, bop, boom, go. You're out of there, sir, yes, sir. You know? Even the devotees, imagine the devotees joining in the 60s. He walked right past them, pow. They didn't feel disrespected because it wasn't like that. I mean, you can't imitate what a pure devotee does. He doesn't have false ego. It's hard, like I mentioned before, it's hard to know that when you're in the presence of someone with no false ego, then you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And being in the presence of Prabhupada, you could see, wow, it was, I don't know how to explain it. And you can't see it on the video. You have to see the interaction. Anybody else would be offended. You walked in and say nothing, didn't say hi to me? That's, you know. Actually, you feel like you're interfering when you're with Prabhupada. You really feel like, oh man, I'm wasting this time, or, you know, oh, let me do something. And he's humble and he's grave. All these things are all at the same time. All at the same time. You look in his eyes and his emotions are just like, therefore you just. So, yeah, he was not just an acharya, he's extraordinary. He's like, you know, like specially empowered by Nityananda. So don't expect everybody else to be like that. There ain't going to be anybody else like that. Can't compare other, you know. That happened to us and we moving on, you know. Oh, he's not like Prabhupada. Of course he's not. Who's going to? You're not trying to be either. It's impossible. You know? So, anything from late? No. Okay. Okay.
Bro, could you tell us, like, what were the conversations you heard with Srila Prabhupada? What were the conversations you heard with him when you were in his room?
When I was in his room, nothing. I was happy that he didn't kick me out.
Oh.
He didn't say one word to me. I didn't say anything to him. I just.
But like you heard him. You heard him.
I was so just like almost closer, real close, sitting in the corner. I knew shouldn't be there. I knew that. That's how I felt. Because, it's probably he had to rest, he has to schedule, who might just walk in the room and give me some attention. He's not there for me, we're his servants. Right? So, and it's a wartime, more or less. It's not just a hangout time. Hang out and have some fun with Prabhupada. It's not, it's chant Hare Krishna, be happy, but it's not that kind of chanting Hare Krishna, be happy. So, matter of fact, I did mention to Brahmananda, near the end of the story, there's these ladies who used to travel in a van like the men were doing. Back then, you pull behind a gas station, open up a tap, take a shower, and some ladies were doing that too, which was, and they were doing pretty big. Prabhupada knew of them. And I remember the door opened, and Prabhupada saw them trying to get in. And by that point, the conversation was like so grave. The room was packed. It was very grave. Everybody was just like, and they were, and he looked over and he saw them. He goes, let them in, let them in. I mean, he just, boom, burst into a whole nother, then he was laughing and joking, had them sitting there. He was so pleased with them, I couldn't believe it. So many, many years later, I was in West Africa preaching, and Brahmananda Swami had a temple there. And we were talking, and I mentioned to him about this. I was feeling a little bad. And I said, man, when I think back to that, I must really been a rascal. I said, Prabhupada didn't even speak to me. But when these ladies came in, he was so happy with them, So I'm feeling really bad for myself. He says, how long were you in the room with Prabhupada? Oh, about an hour or more. He says, he never let anybody sit around doing nothing like that all that time.
Oh my God.
You should be happy. He didn't usually tell you, get out, go do some service. But he let you sit there. I go, okay. I feel so bad. But I didn't start bugging him. I know some voice got in the room. Prabhupada this, Prabhupada that, Prabhupada that. Okay, thank you, bye. I really just wanted to, see him interacting, and I didn't even have any questions. What am I going to ask, How are you? How do you? You already know. You chant japa, do your service. What's there to ask? There's no more doubts at this point, right? And these shouldn't have any. At a certain point, there's no more doubts. You just do it. Okay, now how can I, not waste any time? You want to get more, maybe. And at the same time, you don't want to burn yourself out, too. It's kind of, maybe you're up and down like that. We oscillate. So I was thinking, what would I ask him? I don't know. What he's going to ask me? How are you? You chant Hare Krishna? Okay, you're fine. I waste time with stuff like that. You ain't got so much time on this planet. Why are you going to waste it on stupid things like that? Prabhupada was he didn't waste a second. 20, 25-minute class, bam, off, no questions. So why should I answer questions? So many devotees can answer those questions. I'm going to waste my time answering questions. I got to finish these books and so many things. Very efficient. So.
Of course.
Turn it on for
Hare Krishna, thank you for the wonderful class. So, of course, I was obsessed about the prasadam. So I was just curious, when you were in there and honoring the Mahaprasadam, did you feel anything, or did you notice the advancement in your spiritual life?
I saw something that he had bid on. It was first time I saw that. You know how they take eggplant and just roast it black burnt? Yeah. You know that, huh?
I've seen it,
yeah. It was, I said, it's a burnt food. But I said, he bid it? I thought, okay, fine, I eat that too, But, when I joined, most people always join, they like prasad, right?
I mean, still do.
I didn't like prasad. I had to learn to like prasadam. I didn't like prasadam when I see. I was like, what the heck is this? I'm like, oh, God. Okay, I won't be a devotee. I guess I got to eat it, over time I started liking some things. Yeah. But I grew up real my mother just cooked simple, salt, pepper, some butter, that was it. Now you got all these spices and all this. What the heck is all these food? What to speak of eating Bengali, wait till you get to Mayapur, man. They start making them, pungent. That's a whole nother, pungent is a whole nother taste. Chlorella, what do they call it? Bitter melon. Ooh, I still can't eat that one.
No.
And I didn't like eggplant either. And that's what I'm saying. I'm sitting there, I was like, dal, rice, eggplant. I'm like, oh, man. And then the yogurt. I was okay, let me take some yogurt. Buffalo yogurt. Because then
Man.
something's wrong with it. So no, it's made from buffalo. I said, why'd you put that thought in my head? I'm taking milk from that ugly looking thing. I was like, no, wait. And then it was in clay pots, which nobody told you anything. I didn't know about clay pots. And they were crude. I thought, it's going to melt. How can you put drink water out that thing? It's clay. It's like really, not refined. It's like someone just kind of made it, it was hard for me. It was hot. Mayapur was so hot. It was so, oh, God. I've never been sunburned in my life. I got sunburned in Mayapur.
No.
I never God, what smell? Like somebody slapped me, Oh, that's sunburn. I said, really? I didn't know that. Nothing to eat. I was starving. Oh, God, I got sick. I thought I was going to die. I went there to get my Brahman from Prabhupada, and we drank the water from him. This is sentiment, because we go to the Ganga, and they're like, oh, this is the Ganga, drink.
Oh, please.
Okay, I'm following senior devotees, right? Later, don't drink the water here, don't drink there, too late. Everybody amoeba dysentery.
Oh, God.
No clinic, no nothing, no medicine. You just lay there,
That's suffering, dude.
vomiting, run that bathroom, smell like, amoeba dysentery bathroom, And I look out the window, I see Prabhupada coming down to give class, going back up. Oh, Krishna, please get me better. I want to get my Brahman from Prabhupada in Mayapur. Please. Finally, some devotee came around and says, are you sick? I'm like, yeah, I'm sick. You got any money? Yeah, I have some money. Give me some money. I'll go find you some medicine, So I gave him some money, came back with some pills. I got just in time to get the Brahmin. But then Prabhupada, he didn't come down. That's the last time we saw him. He was too sick to come down. Oh. Austere. And man, devotees lived like that in that hut. 5-6 years. And when you go to Mayapur, you'll see in the hut. The deities with their Mahal sweet, they take, if they're fortunate enough to have burfi, maybe one piece, they cut it into like 3 pieces. And that's how the deities got their daily sweet.
Oh, my God.
They have nothing. Janani Vas, Jai Pataka, lived like that for years. Now you go there, it's like, I gotta have some pizza, veggie burger,
Oh, my God.
croissant, and then put some extra, ghee on this and that, and deliver it to your room.
That's crazy.
Okay, 200 rupees. So like $10. You're not even that, $4 or $5. Right? Yeah, keep the change for good. Keep the change. He's sitting there, listen to the beautiful kirtans in the back. Oh, there's so many temples there now. Look at the Ganges. I made it very easy to be in Mayapur. And they would come trying to get devotees to stay. You're staying? I'm not staying. I'm going back. I got my service. I'm not staying. Bhaktivedanta Swami stayed through it.
Yeah.
Raga, this one. He was in Montreal. He was on the airplane about to take off. And Jai Pataka tapped him and said, your spiritual authority said you can stay in Mayapur. Get off the plane. And he got off the plane, and they gave him a ticket. He was in Delhi. They gave him a ticket to go back to Mayapur. And his luggage took off.
Oh, come on. That's crazy.
Well, you didn't have much anyway in those days. We were real simple. A couple of dhotis, and that was it. So it wasn't like you lost anything. He went right to Mayapur with what he had on, which took a few days.
Damn, that's amazing.
That's what it was like. They surrendered. I don't know if I could have. I probably God, Krishna put me in that situation. I don't think I could have did it. Because I went to Vrindavan, I got even more suffering. All I did was get smashed. I said, I'm too sinful. I can't come to the holy Dham. I'm too sinful. Nothing but reactions was get me, pop, this, that, oh, bam. Most devotees would come, they just get so, now it's not like that anymore. You know. So, yeah, they even have a store. Devotees want something more, they can get Coca-Cola, all these things. Some devotees want those things. So Krishna, okay, fine. Just stay in Mount Holy Dham. He provides all that. Anyways, spiritual world. We have a big, broad family of devotees, right? There's Mathura, there's Vrindavan, there's... Right. So, anything else, or? Okay. Ladies, no? Content. Haribo. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Haribo.
His great Sikhi Mahiti Prabhu ki
Oh, glory to the symbol devotees.